Have you ever felt that no matter how much effort you make, something invisible seems to block your progress? As if a silent force is pulling you back even as you try to move forward? This feeling is no coincidence. It's often caused by limiting beliefs, deeply held thoughts that shape the way you see yourself and the world around you. The problem is that these beliefs operate silently, like a hidden enemy, sabotaging your decisions and preventing you from reaching your true potential. But here's the good news. You don't have to be their prisoner. Today, we're going to expose these limiting beliefs, discover how they work, and most importantly, learn how to overcome them. Get ready to recognize the patterns that control your mind and take the first step towards taking back control of your life. Before overcoming limiting beliefs, it is essential to understand them. But what exactly are they? Limiting beliefs are ideas that we accept as true, even if they are not. They arise from past experiences, fears, and even other people's comments that, over time, form a cycle of negative thoughts. Think about phrases like, "I'll never be good enough," "This is too hard for me," or "This kind of success isn't for people like me." Maybe you've already caught yourself repeating something like this, consciously or unconsciously. These beliefs, however small they may seem, shape your choices, influence your actions, and ultimately limit what you believe is possible. Now imagine the impact of this on important areas of your life. In your career, it could mean giving up on a promotion because you believe you're not ready. In relationships, it could be the fear of opening up because you think you will be rejected. In your health, you may not even try to change a habit because you believe you don't have enough willpower. Self-sabotage becomes inevitable when these beliefs dominate. You may procrastinate, give up before trying, or avoid challenges, also you don't confront the discomfort of failing. What many don't realize is that these thoughts are not truths, but rather stories we tell ourselves over and over again. Identifying these beliefs is the first step to interrupting this cycle. Now that we understand the problem, let's explore where these beliefs come from and why they settle so deeply into our minds. Limiting beliefs don't come out of nowhere. They are built over time, influenced by past experiences, other people's comments, and often by the way we were taught to interpret the world. To understand how these beliefs form, we need to go back to our earliest memories. Many of them begin in childhood. Imagine a child who repeatedly hears phrases like, "You never do anything right," or "This is too hard for you." Even without malicious intent, these words create a perception of inadequacy. The developing brain absorbs these messages as truths and transforms them into automatic thought patterns. Trauma and negative experiences also play a significant role. Maybe you failed at something important and then started to believe that you can't do it. Or maybe you were judged for trying something new and that created a paralyzing fear of taking chances again. Furthermore, society and the environment around us contribute. Cultural expectations, constant comparisons on social media, and even opinions from people close to you can reinforce limiting ideas. Comments like, "This kind of career isn't for people like us," or "You should choose something safer," create mental barriers that are difficult to break down. The most curious thing is that these beliefs often go unnoticed. They become an invisible backdrop that guides our decisions and behaviors. But remember, they are not absolute truths. They are interpretations that can be questioned and transformed. Now that we know where these beliefs come from, the next step is to identify them in your own life. Let's learn to recognize them and bring them to the surface so they can be faced. Identifying your limiting beliefs is like finding hidden pieces of a puzzle. They are often so deeply ingrained that they feel natural, like part of who you are. However, with a little introspection, it is possible to bring them to light and begin to dismantle them. The first step is to observe the thought patterns that arise when you face challenges or try something new. Ask yourself, what stories do I tell myself when I'm faced with an opportunity or difficulty? For example, if you avoid applying for a job because you believe you don't have the right qualifications, this could be a limiting belief acting up. Another way to identify them is to pay attention to the excuses you make. Think about times when you said things like, "I don't have time," "This isn't for me," or "I wasn't cut out for this." These justifications often mask the fear or insecurity generated by negative beliefs. A practical exercise is to write down all the negative sentences that you usually repeat mentally. Don't filter or judge. Just write it down. Then ask yourself, where does this idea come from? Is it based on facts or past interpretations? You will be surprised to realize that many of these beliefs have fragile origins or no longer make sense in your current life. Also, notice how these beliefs affect different areas of your life. At work, do you avoid opportunities because you think you're not capable? In your relationships, do you keep your distance because you believe you will be rejected? By mapping these connections, it becomes easier to understand the profound impact they have on your daily life. Identifying these beliefs is uncomfortable but necessary. Recognizing what is blocking you is the first step to disarming these patterns. Now that you know how to identify them, it's time to learn strategies to overcome them and rewrite your story. Now that you've identified your limiting beliefs, it's time to take action to overcome them. Although they may seem like insurmountable barriers, these beliefs are malleable. With the right strategies, you can reprogram your mind and open the way to new possibilities. The first technique is reframing thoughts. Whenever a negative belief arises, question it. For example, if the thought is, "I'm not good enough for this opportunity," ask, "What concrete evidence do I have for this? Is this really true or just a distorted perception?" Then replace the thought with a positive, realistic statement, such as, "I have the necessary skills and am constantly learning." Another powerful strategy is conscious action. Often, our limiting beliefs prevent us from taking action, creating a cycle of inertia. The best way to break this pattern is to start with small actions that challenge these beliefs. For example, if you believe you can't speak in public, start by practicing in front of a friend or recording yourself. The important thing is to take small steps that prove to yourself that these beliefs are not absolute truths. Additionally, positive visualization can help reprogram your mind. Close your eyes and imagine yourself overcoming a challenge or achieving a goal. Visualize the details, how you feel, what's around you, what people say. Repeating this practice daily creates new neural connections that reinforce the belief that you are capable. Don't forget the importance of repetition and consistency. Changing limiting beliefs doesn't happen overnight. Think of it like training a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Celebrate your small victories along the way, as they are proof that you are improving. Finally, surround yourself with people who encourage your growth. Negative comments from others can feed your limiting beliefs, so look for environments and people that reinforce your confidence and help you move forward. With these strategies, you can transform your mindset and consequently your life. Now you know that limiting beliefs, despite being silent, are not invincible. They don't define who you are, but they can determine where you go if you let them. By identifying these beliefs and applying the strategies we've discussed, you are taking control of your story. Remember that this process requires patience and practice. Transforming your mindset is like learning a new skill. At first it seems challenging, but over time you will realize that you are capable of much more than you thought. Every step you take, no matter how small it may seem, is a significant step forward in building a life free from the constraints of limiting beliefs. So here's the invitation. Reflect on the biggest belief that has held you back to date, and decide that it will no longer have power over you. Write in the comments of this video which belief you will challenge and how you intend to do so. And if this content inspired you, share it with someone who also needs this transformation. Remember, the war against your limiting beliefs is silent, but victory can be the beginning of a new version of yourself. The time to act is now.